Why there is no hope for the New Orleans Saints offense. We are here, OTB, Jacob Hester, T-Bob. We're talking Saints Jaguars. Let's hear what the boys have to say.
Saints, because they're terrible. We mentioned it yesterday.
That was a wild
There's
angle.
a lot of evidence maybe pointing to this team being terrible. And I don't know that. Look, I think, is the writer's strike over yet? I believe so, right?
I was just hearing about Barbie and a bunch of different stuff being banned in Hollywood for Halloween because of that.
I thought the writer's strike was over. Maybe not. Either way, even if they were actively working right now, I think script writers would be hard-pressed to write a more disappointing script for this New Orleans Saints offense than what you had to witness last night, given the context of what we were highlighting all week, what everybody was watching, the red zone struggles, the inability to score touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was kind of a comedy of errors. I mean, when you look back at it, obviously it sucks to watch. Like, obviously as a fan, you hate to see it, right? You hate to watch that. But if you look back at it, it is crazy how everything we talked about, like the red zone struggles, even down to groupie to, target Foster Moreau, like everything we talked about in the lead up, every single person, every single player, every single position got a chance to show like how screwed up it is. Groupie missed a kick. Foster Moreau got targeted in the red zone. He dropped a pass. We couldn't score. We, kicked field goals. We again ended up with 6 points at half. Like everything we talked about, it was right there in front of the world. The whole world got to see everything we talk about in every video this entire season. The Saints right now, the part that surprises me the most, I would say, currently, is how bad Carr has been. The part that really surprises me is how the team, all of a sudden, it looks like the thing of Space Jam, where the Monstars took the NBA players' powers. I mean, this team looks like they have completely lost the ability to play football, the ability to be a functioning NFL team. We cannot get out of our own way at any part of the game. Special teams, offense, defense. It is almost like there should be a laugh track or something during the games. There should be like one of those sitcom laugh tracks every time we miss a field goal, or every time we drop a pass, or every time Derek Carr spikes the ball into the ground, or every time Derek Carr throws it out of bounds, or every time we don't get it on fourth down, or it's just the same thing happening. And it seems like we're the only team doing this. A lot of other teams, they lose because they're bad. They lose because that you can tell the talent's not there, or you can tell the other team is better, or whatever. That's not how it is with the Saints. The Saints are finding new ways to lose. I mean, the Saints are finding new ways to be bad.
And finish drives. I mean, right off the bat, you allow a 6-minute drive for a touchdown. You then go down offensively, get stalled out in the red zone, miss the field goal. Great play by the defense, forces a turnover, fumble. You go 3 and out.
Yep.
Then you have another great special teams play in which Isaac Edom literally takes his man and freaking throws him into the return. Like just an awesome, badass war daddy special teams play. And you go another 3 and out on the goal line and settle.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like when you're watching it, it's like, man, this is almost too specific. It's almost too specific to be real life. It's almost too like on the nose. Exactly what T-Bob just laid out. Like, all right, Saints are struggling in the red zone. Let's give them the ball in the red zone. Let's just start the drive in the red zone. Let's have a fumble. Okay. Then let's have them go 3 and out. You sure you don't want them to do anything? No. 3 and out. That's not good enough, though. Let's let them do it again. Same exact thing. Like, Blake Groupie missed a couple field goals. People were kind of, they had a conversation about that. Ooh, let's let him miss his first field goal. Like,
for a field goal. And this would set the tone for the entire night. It would continue the entire night, only for a little glimmer of hope to later be extinguished in an inspirational story that has taken a sad turn. It's just brutal every which way, and you lose at home on Thursday in a game where you should have won. And I say should have because you should have taken better advantage of those opening turnovers.
Yeah.
Just a brutal.
Yeah, same with the Texans. Like, and then the cruel twist at the end where we have a chance to win the game, or we have a chance to tie. Like, we have a drive. Like, even after all the bad, even after all the pathetic, we still have a chance to win at the end, and we don't get it done for the second game in a row. And this one was really brutal with the wide open drop in the end zone.
Brutally bad game last night for the Saints.
Yeah, and they tried to give it to you a couple of different times. And, credit to the Saints defense and the Saints special teams for going out there and finding a way, getting the ball back. But offensively, like another empty stat game. Derek Carr throws for over 300 yards, but if you watch that game, you know exactly what it was. And on third down in the red zone, yet again, it is not just bad, it's like historically bad.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst situations that I've seen on an NFL field. Like, the drive, they come out in the second half, and they're like, it's the third quarter, it's right before the fourth, but you could tell there's a sense of urgency because you're down 2 scores, and it was like a 2-minute pace, and I was like, oh, man, okay, this is going really, really well. Like, that's as clean as I've seen it look, but, like, even, like, they got in the red zone, then it becomes kind of troublesome again for them to score. Like, even when they score, it's like it's hard. It takes 4 plays from the one to be able to get in. It's just time and time again, this team continues to be the same team, which is really, really bad once you get into the red zone or goal line situations.
Well, check this out, Jake. If you go for it on fourth down every time, you only have to get 3 yards of play, okay? So check downs are back in, baby. Let's go, dude. This is one of my biggest problems with Derek Carr right now, and I don't know if this
Carr, look, I mean, if you watch the game, there are so many passes that are overthrown, thrown behind the receivers, miscommunications with the receivers, the interception. Like, there's so much happening. I don't know. It's hard for me to even know what's wrong. Like, it's hard for me to even know what the problem is. Because there's no way Derek Carr all of a sudden is just awful. There's no way these receivers all of a sudden, no one can be on the same page. How is that possible? How is it possible we're dealing with that? He had a couple throws last night that, I mean, if he was a rookie, like if he was a college kid or we just drafted him or something, you see some of those throws and it's like, all right, he can't play. Like, no way this guy can be an NFL quarterback. And he's a, 9-year veteran? And all of a sudden he can't even, he basically has the yips. The whole team has the yips. That's what it feels like. You know how when you're playing golf and you just get the yips and it's like there's nothing I can do. I just cannot hit the ball. It's just one of those things right now. I got to work through it. That's how it feels like watching the team. The whole team seemingly has the yips, which makes for a terrible product.
This is a function of being hurt, right? But I feel that I was sold a bill of goods in terms of chunk plays, right? Like that along with the fourth quarter play was supposed to be the big difference from Andy Dalton. And once again, Jake was right about everything. Derek Carr is not just more expensive Andy Dalton, he's more expensive off-brand Dollar General Andy Dalton.
He's worse right now.
Dollar General and bought a $200
He's way worse. Way worse.
Pair of headphones. It's ridiculous. But like, I was promised chunk plays. I was promised you were going to take advantage of Rashid Shaheed's speed and Chris Olave, and you could stretch the field vertically. And I don't know that I've ever seen as much check down Charlie play as what you're seeing right now out of the Saints. All the timing looks off. Yeah. It's late.
Body language.
When it is open.
Poor.
Chris Olave and Derek Carr look like they hate each other. Yeah. Olave's got, they got to figure that out immediately. And like I said, everything's late on his reads, and then he's just consistently panicking. And granted, this is partially a function of a bad offensive line, but he's consistently panicking and just immediately going to Alvin Kamara. And nobody's seen Triple R in here still, right? The Indian action movie.
I've seen Red River Rivalry.
No, not that Triple R. Well, in the very opening scene, a guy basically single-handedly takes on like an angry mob of like hundreds, and that's what I felt like Alvin Kamara was having to try to find first downs in the end zone last night. The Saints offense just constantly boiled.
That's another thing that kind of kills me with Carr is that he checks down at the worst times. Like, he checks down a lot on like 3rd and 8, and he'll check it down where it's like, look, we have to take a shot at the line. Like, we have to take a shot at getting the first down here. Or 4th down, he'll check down. You know, it'll be 4th and 6. He'll check down to Kamara, and all of a sudden, then it's like, all right, well, Kamara has to now somehow get 6 yards on his own. or a third down situation, the exact same spot where 3rd and 11, we check it down. It's like, man, damn, now like we are constantly asking whoever gets the ball, whether it's Kamara, Rashid, Olave, whoever, we're asking them to basically do it all on their own. And that's the same way it feels like in the red zone, where instead of a functioning play, instead it's like, all right, let's just have blank player kind of float into the end zone, and then we're just going to throw the ball at him and hope that something happens, and hope that either the receiver gets in front of the defender, or the defender falls down, or there's a penalty, or, you know, like we're never proactively doing anything. We're just kind of like flipping a coin. It feels like we're flipping a coin with every play. It's just throw it up and see what happens. Like throw it up, and he'll either catch it or he won't, and that's the play. That's pretty much the entire offense of, you know, someone's there, someone's on the corner of the end zone, he's just kind of standing there, so let's throw just a BB at him, and that'll be play 1, and then we'll do a couple goal line fades, and then we'll check it down and see if any of that works out. And I don't know if it's, part of me wonders if like Carr is afraid to make a mistake, so he holds the ball, and because he's holding the ball for so long, then he has to check it down, and he doesn't want to risk you know, making a mistake or taking a low percentage throw or something. And I don't know if Pete is the same way in the red zone, where he's scared to, you know, take a chance in the red zone, so everything becomes very, very short and very like simplified. I'm not sure what the answer is, you know, and we're kind of grasping at straws at this point, because like they said, this is a historical thing we're watching. Like what the Saints are doing, they're historically bad in the red zone. They're historically bad as far as like their, you know, offensive efficiency, and we already saw the Kamara 13 catches for 33 yards. Like even the checkdowns is at a historic pace. So when you have something that's so never seen before, it's hard to know why. It's hard to know where it's coming from. And also, like they mentioned, the timing is terrible. The body language is terrible. The team seems to hate each other. Like, we have issues on the field, off the field, on first down, on third down, on fourth down. We have issues everywhere right now.
Down to just dump it to Alvin, and he has to make like 3 or 4 people miss.
Yeah.
And for all those who think that Alvin Kamara sucks now, like, again, put him on the Eagles, put him on the Niners, put him on any functional team right now, and Alvin Kamara will go off.
I thought Herb Street actually kind of laid it out perfectly of what Derek Carr was doing. It was getting the ball, hitting your back foot, check down.
Yeah.
Not hitting your back foot, scan, check down. It was back foot, check down. And that's a bad place to be. That's a quarterback that is nervous to make a mistake.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
So much football, high-level football. Like, he should be. That's where, like, when Ian Book starts for your team, that's where he should be.
Yeah.
He should be hitting the check down once he hits his back foot, not Derek Carr. Like, you got to go through your progressions.
Zach Wilson stuff.
And even when he had time, like, he didn't do that. It was back foot, where's AK, let me check it down. Like, it was.
There was a play that is exactly what he's talking about here. It was the miscommunication when Alvin Kamara was on the sideline, and Alvin ran a go route, and I think Carr thought he was going to come back, and Carr drops back, turns, and throws it, and no one's there. And you know, Alvin and him talked about it after the play, but when you watch that play back, there's people open in the middle of the field. But Carr is so fast to immediately go to Kamara or immediately go to that check down that not only is he throwing to no one there, like he's not even looking to see where Kamara is, he's just throwing there. Not only is he doing that, but he's not scanning the field to see the wide open people. I mean, and that isn't on Pete. You know, like stuff like that isn't on the scheme or isn't on Allen or isn't on whoever. At some point, the players, like especially Carr, he has to get better. He has to get a lot better, because right now he's almost like a detriment to himself. He's a detriment to the team, and it seems like it's getting worse. And my fear is that it gets way worse, and he either gets benched or he just completely loses his confidence, completely alienates himself from the other players. I mean, it looks like him and Olave do not like each other. So, you know, what if that keeps bleeding into other players? And I hope it corrects itself, but it is. I mean, Derek Carr looks like a pitcher who all of a sudden can't throw the catcher, who all of a sudden is just like throwing the ball into the stands because he can't. There's a mental block or something.
Was it was almost automatic. That's what he was doing for a portion of that game. And just, again, the body language is troublesome for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just with Chris Olave when he didn't continue to run. Like, I get that one. It's still with Carmichael on the sideline. It's with every play when they cut to Derek Carr, there's a hand going up.
Yeah.
There's a what are you doing? Like, this team is not even remotely close to being on the same page. And that's why they brought Derek Carr in as well. Like, that was another reason they brought him in and didn't go young, was because of that. They, had a relationship with some of the players already on the team. They thought he could come in and step in and be this ultimate leader. And I'm not saying he's not, because I think his teammates do like him, but the body language right now is poor.
Again, I don't know if it looks like Chris Olave likes him, and they seem on the wrong page. Like, they're just constantly, he's off, Olave's dropping it. Balls that he should catch, even. It's not, it's not a one-way street there. Again, I really cannot fathom on all these third downs just constantly throwing it short of the chains. Just not even making it.
100%. I talk about this all the time, and we see it nonstop. I talk about it in this video, but we see it all the time where we're constantly throwing the ball short. It's crazy. If you look at, like, high percentage success plays, it's like the Saints are doing nothing but the opposite. Like, fade routes in the end zone, very low success. We do that nonstop. Converting on third down or fourth down by throwing the ball short, that's a very low percentage success play. We do it nonstop. Like, it's really hard to pick up first downs when you are not throwing the ball to the marker. It's really hard to convert fourth downs when you are not getting the ball to the line. We need 6. We're going to get 1 and hope that the 5 just happens. And it's maddening to watch it all game long, week after week after week.
An attempt to really try and convert. In fact, here's a little not so fun fact that Jake, after midnight, sent to the group. Late night, bro. This comes from Josh Duba of the AP. Derek Carr on third down tonight. 5 of 14 for 25 yards.
Oh.
1 pick six, 1 first down.
Good Lord.
He was the third player since 1991 to throw 14 or more passes on third down in a game and generate only 1 first down.
That's crazy.
The others were Coy Detmer in 1998.
Oh, shout out Coy Detmer.
And Scott Mitchell in
Let's look at this. On third down, 5 for 14. Unbelievable. For 25 yards, a pick 6, and 1 first down. That is so bad. That's what I'm saying. I want to believe in Derek Carr, and I have gone to bat for Derek Carr. But when you see something like this, you do have to kind of say, what's going on? And again, this is historical. Third player in 30 years. This is not something you see all the time. So it's hard for me to be like, well, what is it? Carr? Is it Carmichael? Is it what can it be? Because something is broken. Something is very broken with this team to have this kind of these kind of stats from a veteran guy, from a veteran player. This isn't Bryce Young. This isn't Zach Wilson. This isn't a rookie. This is Derek Carr. This is a guy who's been in the league, has had success in the league, and you went and got as your franchise quarterback. God, look at that. Unbelievable.
1997.
Oh, man.
Yeah, don't you never want to be compared to anything that has Scott Mitchell's name on it in the NFL?
Scott Mitchell is the guy that got paid when he filled in for Marino for a couple of games, went to Detroit, and was bad. Look, I don't know that you want to be compared to Coy Detmer either.
No.
Ty Detmer in college, tight, but.
Ed Werder points out that Derek Carr's 15th career pick 6 is the second most in the NFL since 2014. Matthew Stafford has 16, which that's a little.
Yeah, whatever.
That means you have to have been playing since 14. There's not many quarterbacks that have, but still. And then here's a crazy stat that both shows the incredible ineffectiveness of the Saints once they get close, but also how bad Matt Canada is. The Saints ran 22 red zone plays last night.
Yeah.
The Steelers have run 21 all year long.
Okay, that is wild.
So on a single night, and the Saints have nothing to show for it, so it's bad on both parties. On a single night, they outproduced Matt Canada just in terms of plays in the red zone, though.
Oof, that's bad for Matt Canada. But again, I don't understand, and this is not just from Saints Derek Carr. I mean, this is in the totality of his career, the red zone issues. I mean,
Yeah.
they've been talked about for a long, and I watched them play out for a long time. Being in the AFC West, I don't know what happens. I don't know if it's a skill set thing. Look, I can't sit here and say it's all play calling because it's been in multiple spots with multiple coaches. Like last.
Yeah, and I mentioned this, this week in some videos, but at some point, the blame is going to shift. Like right now, people are quick, and they certainly have the right to be, but they are quick to blame Pete Carmichael, which, yeah, he sucks. We know that. We saw the numbers this week. We know he's terrible for sure. But these checkdowns, the throwing the ball short of the line, like at some point, Carr is going to have to change that. He is going to have to do something different. And like Jacob said, something he has not done different his entire career.
Last night to end the game. Did Foster drop a pass in the end zone? Absolutely. Does he have to catch that every time?
Yeah.
Yes. Does he catch it 99 out of 100? He probably does. But the next play, like it's one snap and clear. The last play of the game.
The fade was so awful.
It
reminded me of
awful.
Jaden's fade from the FSU game that we were all lambasting, where he just threw it into the defender's back.
The last play of the game, you're not being pressured right then, and you throw a fade, to Chris Olave.
Hate the fade. After that catch that Mike Thomas had, that's the only person I'd throw a fade to.
It made no sense to me.
How about this? Why not call a timeout after the third
You had
down?
two.
You have 2 timeouts. Can't take him home with you.
Last play of the game.
You're not going to use him. Yeah, exactly. You're not going to use him for anything from a game flow function standpoint. It's 4th down. Why not call a timeout and get your mind right? And that's what that is. Like, that's a DA thing. The throw's a Carr thing. It's just.
Yeah, it's broken all around. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not just the coaches. It's not just the players. It's not just. It's everything. It's everything right now is broken, and everything right now is just not. There's no cohesion. It does not. The Saints are not functioning right now as a actual NFL team. They're like this weird hodgepodge group of parts that don't fit together, and we're seeing the results.
It's just kind of disastrous all the way around.
Yeah,
You've got multiple people that would be better in that jump ball situation, but look, forget that. The throw was awful. The decision to do it as quickly as he did was all of it was bad. Like, run your offense. You just had a wide open tight end in the end zone. Why not run a play, like an actual play? The fade's awful. I don't care. I don't
fade's
care.
terrible.
Unless you have Megatron or Randy Moss or somebody like that out there that's generational at going and high pointing the football, why are we in the year of our Lord 2023 still throwing a fade?
Not on 4th down.
And not on one that doesn't get 5 feet off the ground.
Yeah. I mean, the throw was awful. But again, even the decision, I'll take, first, second, like you said, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, doing it is whatever. But game on the line, he is saying, or Carmichael or whoever actually called the play, I would assume Pete. They're saying in that moment, the game is on the line. Let's throw a 50-50 ball. That's the best thing we got. That's what's so maddening about that play, is that everything on the line. What are you going to do? We're just going to kind of toss it up. How is there not a play there? How do you not have something better? How is that what you want to go out as or go out on? It's just a 50-50 ball.
Thomas had that just unreal catch where he somehow has the body control to dive and get his knee inbounds in the end zone. Just an incredible, awesome, as good of a catch as you'll see in the NFL. Why not trust him to go high point it and go? I mean, that requires throwing it high. But the point is, 1st, 2nd down, whatever you want to do that. I'm down for that. Not on 4th. It's such an eggs in all in all your eggs in a basket move. It's just bad strategy. It's just bad.
There's nothing that can happen in that outcome outside of the perfect throw, the perfect timing, the perfect catch.
Yeah.
You got to have 3 perfects in there. Or, hear me out, we can run a play with 4 guys, possibly 5 if the back gets out in a route. One of them can come open, or who knows?
Actually design
Maybe
a play.
Derek Carr has the ability to extend the play, find a way to get himself in the end zone. That's 5 options compared to one bad one.
Just check it down and let Alvin Kamara try to get in the end zone. You did it the rest of the night.
That probably would have happened if it wasn't a
Once you get to
fade.
the goal line with the game on line, Kamara doesn't even get a touch, despite the fact that you have multiple timeouts.
Taysom Hill looked good last night.
Taysom did look good. Carl Granderson remains awesome.
God, that
Yep. He was really good. Carl Granderson's been fantastic.
If you have a child playing football, show them tape of Carl Granderson. Like, just do it. Say, hey, this is what it takes to be a pro. This is how you should play every play. This is the effort you should give in every play. And this is the passion that you should play with. And this is the desire and the want to you should play with. It's every single snap. And he got paid. So, right, he ain't going out there chasing anymore. He got
he's
paid.
Still playing hard.
That's just who he is.
Yeah.
I sit there, and when I watch the Saints defense, I just watch 96.
Yeah.
That's all I do, because every single play, he's giving you every ounce of what he has available.
Wow,
it's tough, man. I mean, you can kind of sense it. You know, everyone's kind of at a loss. Like, everyone is kind of at a loss for what they're watching. It's like, it's a mystery. It is a mystery of what's wrong, how it got so wrong so fast. And then the biggest mystery is what's going to happen now. What's going to happen? Is all of a sudden it's going to click? All of a sudden Carr's going to be better? All of a sudden everyone's going to be on the same page? Is that going to happen? Because if not, if it doesn't get fixed, Allen will be gone. Carmichael will be gone. We'll probably have another year of Carr, and then he'll be gone. Like, there's going to be some big changes coming to this team if it doesn't get fixed. And it's hard right now to have any confidence that it does get fixed. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Thoughts after the game thoughts of the game last night. Thoughts on how it went. Thoughts on what you foresee for the rest of the season. What do you think's wrong? What do you think's wrong with the team? What do you think the biggest issues are right now? And are we already writing this season off? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.